Well, we have a 12-month growing season here, although we do have winter that does get down below freezing, at least anywhere from 30 to 80 nights out of the winter. And this year it's a drought year, which we have periodically. Beautiful, sunny every day and cold at night. And so we still get harvest. During the winter we grow greens. Because we have our other farm in Carpinteria, we're able to plant a lot of the cool weather crops during the summer when it's too hot to grow them in Ojai. So in Ojai we grow summer vegetables and summer herbs. And then at that time we have our broccoli and lettuce and radicchio growing in Carpinteria. Well, as I had said, we had our garden going, and somebody who we knew really well who had a small farm and planted an orchard and was kind of one of the older ringleaders of organic gardening and small-scale farming in the Santa Barbara area. He started a farmer's market, and it was the first one that I knew of anywhere. I'd never even heard of the concept. And this was 1978, and we had one small one in Isla Vista, and then the next one was at the Santa Barbara Mission, and then the next one was in the parking lot of the Santa Barbara County Bowl, where it lasted for some months or maybe even a year before it moved to the parking lot of Santa Barbara High School. And so we got into it right from the start, and we would bike cart a little caravan of gardeners from Isla Vista to Santa Barbara with pulling bicycle carts full of our produce, flowers, cherry tomatoes, the herbs, our table, and it was just so much fun, and I was hooked. That was the way to go. You get to deal directly with people, with the consumers, and be part of a community and share your joy of farming, your joy of life, because there's a lot of joy in it. Usually when things go wrong, you're at the farm and your frustration has an outlet and you just bear down, and by the time you get out to the public and you've got all your beautiful produce, that's the best of the best and is the smiling face of your farm. And so you present that, and that brings joy and appreciation from the people that you're supplying the food to, or flowers. And so it really brings out the best in everybody. And the energy level gets picked up, and it becomes a celebration of life, and as well as a culinary celebration. So there's so many dimensions to it, way beyond simply feeding people. Well, we certainly have a symbiotic relationship with the community and the people that come to the market, most of them. Every so often you get somebody who just wants their stuff and wants to go, but in general, people are so happy that we're dedicating our lives to providing them with food and recipes and health tips and jokes, and they get to see you and your family and get to know you completely. You know, I've always taken all my kids to the market. My wife comes sometimes, and they've known us for the whole time. And so we know them. When their kids are around, they bring them to the market. It's just one big family. It's like a family reunion every Tuesday afternoon, Saturday morning, Sunday morning. Well, because we have this 100 varieties of things and all the oddball things, and are willing to plant herbs or vegetables that they're interested in, we have a really good relationship with the restaurants. The Tuesday afternoon and Saturday morning markets are both downtown within walking distance of, 100 restaurants. And many of them come to the market rather than buying food from distributors who do the best they can, and sometimes they're able to bring in things that the farmers can't grow. But this is the era of California cuisine, which is buying what's local and in season. And so they're part of this whole renaissance of eating that involves purchasing your produce from the locals. And rather than trying to have a fixed menu, you work with what's happening at that season. So the restaurants now, many, many restaurants come to the market. And you know, it's great for us because we have so many different things that they come maybe needing one thing or 5 things and end up getting a whole cart full. And they bring wagons and dollies, and there's definitely a movement happening. It's not just here, it's worldwide. And in a way, like I said, it's a renaissance. It used to exist before refrigeration. That's how people ate. And people had more time to prepare their food. People had more time to grow their own food or to catch their own food, and they were much more involved with the production or with the people that they purchased it from. There was more of a direct relationship. And I don't disrespect the stores or the distributors, but from the consumer's point of view, so many people now are aware that getting it directly from the producer is the way to go. And there is a whole international movement called the Slow Foods movement that really embodies that, incorporates those ideas of using heirloom varieties of not only produce but of animals as well, and sourcing things directly from the producers, and it just gives you a fuller experience, culinary experience. Well, today about 25 7th and 8th graders came over to do community service, which is volunteering at a local farm. And it happens to be they came from the school that my children go to. And they came over, they come once a month and work for about an hour and a half. And today was a planting day. They come on Wednesday mornings, and we plant every other Wednesday, transplanting. So they came and planted lettuce and fennel and bok choy. And then they all wanted to hoe, and they wanted to pull weeds. And so we rounded up every hoe on the property, and they were hoeing in the onions, and some were pulling weeds. Some, you know, were standing around with their hands in their pockets, and you just can't, you're not going to get everybody to be on that wavelength. So some of them that show the most enthusiasm, I really enjoy working with them directly, and some that seem tentative and hesitant, I try to also give them a lot of energy and to kind of stimulate them. And well, it's the meeting place. It probably fulfills roles that community centers or even churches, to a certain extent. You know, I don't want to minimize the presence of religion in people's lives, but it has a similar kind of relationship with the community, and it just brings us together, and you see old friends, meet new friends, and everybody shows up and lingers.
Can you talk about maybe some of the economic benefits of the farmers market?
Well, at the farmers market, you sell your produce for in between wholesale and retail, closer to retail, and even some people sell at or above retail, because you're picking it fresh that day or the day before, and so you're bringing something that a store could never provide that level of freshness. On Tuesday afternoon, we pick it, almost everything on Tuesday, and then they take it home and eat it that night.